So let me start like this. We are online at Lookup TV across all your social media platforms. And the hashtag is the Captain's Arena. Fine, is what I keep on saying every time we open this particular show. But let me say something different. That this particular captain that we're interviewing today, you see how majority of people's CVs are not written down? That they might have done so much, but then just because you want to identify them with something, their story sort of starts there, ends there. Now, the captain that we have today on the show, if I start taking him back to when his career in business started, I think we're going to ask for 6 hours for the show. And we don't have that time on TV. The show is just 1 hour. So today, for the sake of that particular detail right there, I would ask that this story is going to start from his time right here in Kenya. By the way, I say his time right here in Kenya because even again I start that time right here in Kenya, again we might ask for so much time for us to get the complete picture of the captain that we're talking to today. All right, so this is the introduction. He's a man whose career didn't just start in Kenya, started way back in a different country. I'll be telling you what country that is once we start our conversations. Came all the way to Kenya. Now, let me introduce him like this. He says this: your money might be lost in the bank, but if you give me your money is safe with me. As one quote. And the second quote then, that is not essentially his quote, but who the man is. That every little business he started, it has grown into a success story. See how entrepreneurs say, business is very difficult. He might say, well, I've never failed in business. At this time, on the Captain's Arena, I want to introduce you a captain, or should I say a real captain of an industry. An industry is essentially touching on business in the country. I introduce the director, Infinity Industrial Park, one Mr. Ashok Shah. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, very well.
Happy to have you on the program. Here's the thing, I keep on saying that if we start your story, we're going to sit here for the next 6 hours as you just teach us about business and where you've been, how your career started, where you are right now. I've listened to you today before we started the show, and I'm inspired to even speak to you. So let me pick it like this. If you look back to your time in Kenya, are there times that you pick up and say, well, if you're going to tell my story, then please talk about this? What periods in your business journey in Kenya would you say are the most important to you?
I mean, okay, well, all the period is important because when I started my journey, it was 1987 when I started with the IT business, and nobody was knowing what computer is. And I challenged myself that I want to go into this futuristic business where I can teach people that what computer is.
So you started that journey,
yes,
and you're sort of introduced a new phase of business. You are essentially telling people, now the world is moving into the computer age, you need to be there.
Correct.
Could you tell me when you came into the country and started that business, did you succeed, or is one of those, because you're starting something completely new, people didn't believe in it, that we could have
in fact, it was new for me also, because in 1987, nobody was knowing what computer is. But, my sense said that this is the future. And it was very hard and difficult to go into the market at that time, to convince somebody to buy computer and to use computer in those days. So it was a difficult business, but yet I said, no, I want to do this business only, and I want to make it success.
Yes.
So I worked very hard for first, in beginning of my career, first 2 years, I kept making losses because there was no revenue coming from that business. Enough, the kind of expenses we were incurring to hire the office and to at least some basic expenses were there. But yet I sustained for that 2 years, and from third year revenue started, which was, I mean, break even happened second year, and from third year we started making some profit, and that is how we started growing. And then I started bringing computer experts, the computer hardware and software engineer from India, and my business started growing. I started making exhibitions, computer exhibitions,
Yes.
and to bring the awareness what computer is, and people come to exhibitions in thousands and they see what computer is, and this is how a journey started.
You would like to think that for a man who became very successful in the computer business
Yes.
in the country as your introduction business into Kenya, you'd have completely stayed there. But you didn't.
No.
You're also looking for other opportunities.
Yes.
Yes. What was your next business opportunity in the country, and how did that fare?
Yeah, in fact, in those days I have learned that this electrical and telephone wires are being imported and nobody is manufacturing locally. So I brought the cable manufacturing plant from India,
Which was a first in the country.
that the first industries I have started with the name of Abacus Industries, because my computer business name was Abacus Computer Systems Limited.
Yes.
And it was very well known and popular in the country. So cable industries I started. Then we started building material business, which is successfully running even today, and it is in top 10 today in Kenya. Then we started with the name of Abacus Pharma Africa Limited. So pharmaceutical business I have started on the way, and that is also in top 10 today in whole East Africa.
Yes.
Yes.
So how do you approach business, Mr. Shah? Because you like to think that a successful business person will say, I want to go into this line, become really good in one line of business. So when people turn around and say, well, which is your go-to area for cables, it's just Shah. But you're not just there.
Yes.
You're just looking to touch everywhere.
Yes, I say something like in year 2000, I was thinking that now we need to also go into some another line. And then President Moi announced that I am now retiring, and he do not want to participate into the election.
That's it.
So I just thought then that what could be the future now. And then when we learned that the Kibaki is in year 2000, 2002, when Kibaki came in power, I thought now the real estate is the future. So, you know, I just go on my insight. And then we entered into real estate business from 2002 only, and I left computer business behind, and and we grown into the real estate.
Is it because you were essentially bored with your success? Is that
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Computer business was doing well at that
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
But you know, something new, like it arises from the need. What is the futuristic need? I always work on the future.
That's it.
And I see the future in the business, that what is the future. So this is how I was thinking that the real estate is the future now. The first, in 1987, I said the computer is the future, so we have done well in computer business. And it is not just selling computers, you know, you have to get involved into it. And we were offering all the services under one roof. Like we sell computer, then after sale service, repair, maintenance, training. Then some people need softwares according to the local needs, so we started developing softwares, and one of them, my local software was most popular, called Paymaster, and it was a payroll system which we locally developed, and we were selling to the our customers.
Let me take you back a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, this name Ashok Shah is quite a famous name. You don't need to say it once or twice for somebody to just put it somewhere in the country. Well, were you born into business, or you essentially had to be grown into a businessman?
No, my family background, my father was a farmer, and I born in one of the small village in India.
That's it.
So from there I studied further in India only, and from there I have just learned, because you know, the honesty is the best policy. This was the first principle into the business, and you just do any business and you are successful if you are honest.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that is essentially a culture in India, other than honesty? That once then you came into the country, you said, well, this is exactly what I'm going to introduce here, and I think this is exactly what's going to push me into success in business.
Yes, in fact, when I came to Kenya, the doing business was easy because there was nothing at that time in 1987. And there was a lot of opportunity that we can do any business. I mean, I could have done some trading business like other people are running shops.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah.
But running a shops it was the easiest thing actually. But I just wanted to do something that I can deliver also at the same time in innovation and in the progress of the country also. So today, like in because of this IT business, and today when I read that Kenya is #1 digitally ready in whole Africa, then I feel proud that because my contribution is also there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Somebody asked me to ask you this question, by the way. This is a secret, just because we got to sit down and we had you speak passionately about what you want to achieve in the country.
Yes.
And exactly how your country now, that your mother country, India, is also leading in these areas that you want to achieve in this country. Have you ever got to a split where you're saying, maybe I can go back to the country and introduce whatever it is that I'm doing here in Kenya?
No. I just want to deliver to Kenya because I am a Kenya citizen.
Yes.
My family prospered here. Whole my life I have already spent here.
Yes.
And now remaining years, and that is why I taken up this another futuristic business, because in 2014, because since year 2002 I am in real estate business.
Yes.
So 2002 to 2012, almost 10 years, 1 decade I spent. And we have grown. I mean, we have done well into the real estate business successfully. So what I was thinking then, that now this is the time to deliver, and I want to do something big. And the future is what the Kenya need urgently, one industrial park. And this is I learned from where when I was doing a project at Babadogo Road, I was constructing in 12-acre a business park.
Yes.
It's called, now it is known as Abacus Complex. Many people were calling me and asking me that, Mr. Shah, we are looking for 1-acre plot or 2-acre plot somewhere in Ruiru, somewhere in Juja, somewhere. Somebody asked on Eastern Bypass, somebody say I'm looking for a plot in Limuru, in Kikuyu. So I learned that the SMEs are expanding and growing rapidly surrounding Nairobi in scattered area.
Yes.
And in scattered area there is no services available. When you buy 2-acre plot somewhere in Juja, now there is no other services available, like there is no water supply pipeline, there is no sewer connection, there is no electricity, but yet people are buying 2-acre plot, they construct the warehouses, they pay KPLC some money to bring the transformer, and KPLC provide the power, then they drill the borehole for the water requirement, and they are dumping the industrial waste into the septic tank. Now this is hazardous to the environment. So I thought, if I develop an industrial park where all the SMEs come together, then we will be helping saving environment also.
Pretty much.
And also, like some multinational who were calling me, whom we know, they say we want to come to Kenya and would put up our production plant, but we are not finding adequate infrastructure to support us. So is there anything, please let us know. And that is how I was thinking that why don't I create a platform for the multinationals to come in Kenya and they just do the plug and play. And that is what I thought, and then I just found this 200-acre land within the Nairobi city. We purchased this land in 2014, and we started developing industrial park where all the amenities and facilities I have accommodated according to my experience, which is nowhere available in entire Africa. And this Infinity Industrial Park is offering the best services, amenities and facilities under the highly secured environment.
Pretty much. By the way, there's a fantastic story on exactly what has led all the way to Infinity Park. We're going to listen to it, exactly moving his idea all the way from inception to COVID-19 to elections and out of elections, yes, up to where we are right now. It's a fantastic story. You're going to listen to it once we come back. But just before we get to that particular point, even when we talk about what sets Infinity Park out of the rest of them, what is your definition, Mr. Shah, of a successful business in your own terms?
I mean, anybody can become a successful businessman, yeah, if he is honest enough, I tell you. because honesty is the best policy. I have also seen ups and downs in my life,
Yes.
but downfall have not affected us much. We came up faster because of the good reputation and the honesty in the business.
Yes.
Yes.
So for you, it's just honesty that you want to build. Is that why the name Ashok Shah has not really attracted a negative sentiment? If I go online right now, even look for negative sentiments about Ashok Shah, I'll struggle to find them. Is that what it is?
Yes, definitely. Because you know what our culture also is teaching us,
Yeah.
that honesty is the best policy. You know that in our life we must have some principles,
That's it.
and those principles comes from our religion.
That's it.
So I also I'm a Hindu and I follow our religion also, and from those basic principles we are doing the business.
Yes.
And we do this business with ethics and honesty.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Let me take you back a little bit also to your journey. We're going to talk about Infinity Park, what you're offering here, and how it came to be. In your journey, and even when you're conceptualizing your business, you always looked for, it's as if you're also saying it's possible. It is possible. To the point that you're even looking at change of presidencies. You're saying, well, now we are done with the Moi regime. We're into the Kibaki regime. So now what is next? What is a possibility?
Yes.
Let me ask you that question. You're 60 years of age now.
Right.
Have you stopped thinking of the next possibility as Ashok Shah right now? Is there something that we're going to see you next, or Infinity Park is the end of that journey for seeking for possibilities?
Well, I don't know, because my life is being driven by the inside instinct.
That's it.
I always listen to my inside instinct, and that is how I am living in the present life.
That's it.
So, you know, life can bring the turning, and this is how the turning came into my life, into different business I have driven. So, like in 2014, I have seen that industrialization will be the future, because government have already announced by the time our President Kibaki has made a roadmap of Vision 2030. And government announced that they are investing into infrastructure development.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is just natural that the infrastructure development in any country take place. It brings the economical growth. So future, you know, in Kenya, economical growth bound to come. Nobody can stop it, because tremendous infrastructure has been already developed.
That's it.
Like our road infrastructure is excellent now. Our geothermal power substations are producing more power than countries need. Our Lamu seaport is ready. Our SGR is operational. Our airport expansion, the biggest ever things happened in Kenya is we have made a new constitution and it has been implemented.
Yes.
So this is a very, very good thing has happened, and Kenya's future is extremely good.
Yes.
So the future is industrialization. That's what I will say at this point.
So we're never going to see Shah. We might see Shah into something again. Probably if you get another insight as well, like an instinct, like this is where I want to go next.
Yes.
Are you saying that at 60, we're going to see you in a different line of business? We might, if you get instinct.
I mean, not very near future, because right now my focus is on Infinity Industrial Park.
Yes.
And I want to make it a success first.
Yes.
And then after, I will definitely think of something else.
So no doubt. All right. Let me also go back a little bit to your story as well. You look like a man who's concerned about values, because when you talk about religion being the driver in who you are,
yes,
which has also translated into your business,
correct,
then it shows that you're a man who's concerned about values. If somebody is listening to you right now, are you concerned that Christian values or religion values are essentially not stressed heavily upon by, let's say, our country, Kenya?
No, I mean, now I have a very little knowledge about the Christian religion.
Yes.
But whatever knowledge I have, it shows that all the religions are actually teaching us the same principle, and they are guiding us. If you make your religion your guiding principles, and if you take it that way, then your life will definitely become easy and peaceful, despite of having any challenges, because ups and downs bound to come in everybody's life. There is nobody can escape it. But it becomes easy for you when you are strong enough, and this religion gives you guiding principles, and you just walk on those principles. Then nobody can make you sacking.
Yes. If you asked me about your age up front, I would put you probably at 50, 52, 55 marks.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Is that something about you? I mean, you're running enterprises.
Yes.
You've grown over the years.
Yes.
Is there something about you that sort of doesn't make the responsibilities that you have as Shah show in how you look?
Yes, that is why, because I don't take all these problems as a problem. What I take all the problem as a challenges, and I try to find a solution. And we always find the solution when we are connected with the religion.
Yes.
You definitely find the solution, because we call it a soul. Everybody has a soul, and in our religion it is said that the soul is a god. Soul is a god.
Yeah.
So if God is with you inside, then why you worry? I mean, it can guide you.
That's it.
It can guide you.
So you're an overly relaxed man, you would say.
Yes, I'm always relaxed, and that is why I am so healthy and so happy.
If I don't meet Shah, talking about business, I've seen you today, you're making calls, you're ever busy, you're discussing with your partners exactly what the next move is. What am I likely to find you doing if it's not in this professional space? What do you do to relax?
Well, when I'm not in the business, after office hours?
Yes.
You mean to say when there is a holiday or something?
That's
Definitely. Okay, my hobby is reading and also cooking. Sometimes I cook myself and I get involved and I make the best food and I eat, and I also serve to the friends like that.
Yeah.
And nowadays we have this, we are living in technology era, so especially YouTube is offering a lot of things. So I also spend some time, maybe half an hour or 1 hour a day, onto the YouTube to look at the world and some news and some videos which also inspires you.
That's it.
So motivation, everybody need motivation. Well,
Yes.
I'm very positive person.
Yes.
And I motivate other people, but still we need motivation, and we learn from every day. We learn something new.
Pretty much. It's the last question I'm going to ask you before we take a break. Now, once we come back, it's going to be about you and Infinity Park and exactly what you're looking into achieving, where you are with it now. I've observed you since I walked into your premises here.
Yes.
It's like the director is not even around. The way people are carrying themselves around is like, well, we know he's there, but essentially we are not going to pretend and show him that, you're the director, we're here. Is that where you relate to the people that you work with? I would like to call them your partners.
Yes, we have to be humble. I mean, and it is just in our nature, in my nature, that I live on ground to earth, and we meet with the people, mix with the people. Even my employee can walk into my office anytime, or wherever, and we give good services. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that because once we come then from this break, we're going to talk about what is essentially a first of its kind in the country. In fact, this is his quote, that even the ones that have been drummed up heavily by the government, like the Konza city, they're not offering what is right here at Infinity Park. We're speaking to a man whose vision then is a one-stop shop for every other thing that a modern park, would I call it an ultra-modern park then, would be. Once we come back, how did he get here? I told you there's a very interesting story in between there. A man who's trying to develop business, COVID is there, elections are there, and other areas as well. Should I tell you, this currently could be valued at 12 billion, now property, but he started it with only 300 million. How? Once we come back from this break, right here on the Captain's Arena, we are with Ashok Shah. The hashtag is the Captain's Arena. is business is simply defined as this. You can't get it anywhere in the country. That's what he's saying. Come here, see it on paper, see it on the ground. You can't get it anywhere. That is essentially the business now that is taking 90% of Ashok Shah's time, even though you're not going to take him off and find him cooking then. And his vision is to have it done so that it can be an example to what the country can achieve, especially in the MSME sector, but most importantly then, the manufacturing sector in the country. Fine. So let's learn the story. So, Mr. Shah, I want you to take me back to 2014. You're already done with your Babadogo development. It's shown you that it's possible and there's a need that needs to be filled within the economy. So you say, let me look for a place. Some would like to think that you would have gone to any other place, maybe Limuru, maybe towards Thika, outside the city, maybe Mombasa Road, because we didn't have proper infrastructure there. Then you decide to come all the way to Thika Road. In fact, most importantly, Eastern Bypass, a place that you would say was desolate back in 2014 when you decided to develop it here.
Correct.
What was the inside?
Yeah, in fact, at that time, this Eastern Bypass was newly developed,
Yes.
and we call it a ring road to Nairobi. And the connection to this, especially this property, when I came to see, it was from the Thika Road and from the Mombasa Road through the Eastern Bypass, and through the Kangundo Road, existing industrial area also can be connected.
Yes.
So when I seen this location, I found that this is the right futuristic location, and it is centrally located. And when slowly Nairobi grows, this will become a center, and that is what had happened in just 10-year time. Today, this area is centrally located.
It's well connected, isn't it?
And very
you
well
didn't know
connected.
that they would even have plans for that.
Yes, exactly. But it happens on the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much. So in the process of coming up with this, and I would like to reiterate that story, it's not that you did have all the money to start this business, Mr.
Yes.
Shah. You only had 300 million with you.
Yes.
And here you are with this ambitious plan of, I'm going to develop a futuristic park, an industrial park with hospitals, with police posts, with everything, the shopping mall inside.
Yes.
But I only have 300 million, but I'm going to do it.
Yes, that is the instinct of the business, and taking risk also into that kind of. And I also very well calculated at that time,
Yes.
that if something unforeseen happened, then what I will be doing and how I will be managing this project and how I will be creating finance. This confidence I had because of my reputation, and we have a group, and I knew that I will generate funding from the group at first instance.
Yes.
And banks also was offering me a loan, that Mr. Shah, if you need any loan for your now next development after the Babadogo development. I thought that there is no harm taking banks loan and then creating a bigger part, because demand was there. And okay, unfortunately, because of the COVID and our election and all these things, our economy have not improved much, and economy was not doing well. But otherwise, Kenyan economy could have been in different shape today.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much. So you approach the bank, they give you 90%
Yes.
of the funding that you needed actually to start developing your property, and that was unheard of.
Yes.
There's no bank that will give you that much funding just based on the land that you have.
Land
You have
only,
plans
yes,
to
yes,
develop
correct.
it.
That is I thanks the Equity Bank that they financed me, they trusted me, and they have given me a loan of 1.35 billion to purchase the land at that time. And it was for 5 years, and we have paid off in 5 years, because I knew also I will bring some funding from my other resources, because
Yes.
we also had some other business and other property, land I had at that time. So I thought I will sell. So I already sold it after that. After purchasing this land, I sold one 25-acre land in Karen, which I was holding for the estate development.
Yes.
Because I was in real estate development, so I used to develop estate and all those things. So I sold that. Instead, I given up idea of developing 25-acre of estate, residential estate. Instead, we do 200-acre industrial estate. And that is how I brought that money also into this project.
But But it doesn't stop there, because when you are now gearing then
Yes.
to get into proper development and start selling off this particular park, 2020 came, COVID-19 hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the world economy stopped. But then I'm wondering, Shah, you did not hit the panic button. You said everything is going to be fine.
Yes, and despite of having challenges, everything is fine even today. And we are moving forward slowly. We are developing. In last 5 years, the development and progress was slow.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing it has been already geared up,
Yes.
and the development will be very fast.
Pretty much. So let's
Yes.
jump into 2022 as well. We do know how the economy in the country goes. So you recover from COVID-19. You say, well, things are going to be better. We're moved out of COVID-19. Let's get into 2022. The election is here, and that's when you want to start selling out the property.
Yes.
And now people say, well, wait for the election.
Right, correct.
Let's see. Let's see. Even then, you did not hit the panic button, did you?
No, no. I just patiently waited. I said, let this year also pass. And I said, let me just now make the provision how I can sustain into this time. And we sustained. And now the good time already started. The Kenyan market started improving. Many foreign investors are already coming here,
No, sir.
looking for business opportunity and to start new venture and industries in Kenya. Because Kenya is the gateway to Central and East Africa.
No, sir.
Yes.
There's a story now. I've got to go back. Take you back. We're going to talk about what Infinity Park is now. But before we get there, there's a man who's very evident in your story. If you go right now online and look at the launch of the Infinity Park, you're going to see the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, right there in that ceremony. And here's the thing, because I'm a journalist and I've been following him, he kept on stressing on the manufacturing sector, helping smaller businesses in the country grow, taking the Kenyan economy to the globe. And you visited him, all right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yes.
Earlier, in fact, several times I have met him because
Yes.
I was also a member of KEPSA.
That's it.
So we had a board meeting in KEPSA, and then President comes there, and we used to meet him.
Yes.
So several times I met President
Yes.
Uhuru Kenyatta. But before purchase of this land, I met him, and I know without getting approval from the government or I cannot do this kind of project in Kenya if government is not supporting.
On your side.
So government is supporting us very much and supported us, and whatever promise government has given us, they all fulfilled. We have water pipeline here, big water pipeline. We have sewer connection. Then we have two spur line of 66 kVA power.
No, sir.
And we have our power substation operational. Right now we have already constructed power substation, and we have 20 megawatt power here within Infinity. Then, we have got all the approvals, licenses. Like the most difficult was to get the police station within the Infinity Industrial Park.
Yes.
So the government also helped us to officially they gazetted, and they have given us a police station in Infinity Industrial Park.
Yes.
So this shows that the government is very much supportive.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Good. So
And government have to support, because I am also working for the nation, and the nation is going to benefit more than myself
Yes, sir.
in this industrial park, because we are attracting a lot of foreign investors come to Kenya and invest, and when they find adequate infrastructure is available, they definitely come. And already started coming in. Right now we have signed 5 agreement with the 4 foreign company and 1 local company
yes.
recently.
Pretty much. Now let's talk about the specific features of Infinity Park.
Okay.
First of all, I know you've mentioned them as on exactly what the government has helped you achieve. Number one, you're talking about this being different from any other in the country.
Correct.
When you walk in, by the way, you're going to see a police post within the park as well. But then it doesn't stop there. What is for any other person wondering why you're talking about this power substation within the Infinity Park? What does that help them with?
Yeah, you know why I wanted this power substation to be developed by ourselves is that so we create the total electrical infrastructure by ourselves. And in Infinity we have total electrical infrastructure is underground. There you will not see any overhead wires.
I've not seen them, by the way.
Yeah, and you will not see it in future also.
Yes.
So I wanted to make brand new infrastructure where we get when 266 per 66 kVA 2 spur line when we get it. We have total our brand new infrastructure, and we should not have any interruption when people are operating. that is very, very important, especially in industries.
Yes.
Because when you are running industries and if power goes off, it give you losses, because one machine once started, you cannot just stop it, because once machine is stopped, then to restart it takes a lot of time. So you are wasting a lot of time also.
Yes.
And also some wastage comes of it. So your cost of production goes high in that case.
Pretty much.
Yes.
All right. And then you have now plans to introduce not just one, you're talking about introducing a public transport system into and out of the park.
That already it was in my plan earlier.
Yes.
When I thought of Infinite Industrial Park, what kind of services, because this comes from my experience, that what really, especially the public need, and what the industrialist, the person who want to operate industries or operating industries at present in Babadogo Road or Enterprise Road, what they need. The first thing they need is the safety and security. Okay, and that is why I thought of police station to have within the park.
Yes.
And on top of that, I have planned to have a 24-hour armed security patrol with the vehicle, and that was in my plan. Same way, I said we give a public transport stage within the park. So all the public vehicles like matatus or buses comes into that public transport stage, and all the workers are being offloaded over there, and from there they walk into the Infinity Industrial Park, and then they go to wherever they are working.
Yes.
So and this public transport stage is not just to offer the transport, but also to offer the market together with the transport stage. So when worker goes home, they just shop there from that market, and they go to the bus or matatu, and then they go to home. They don't need to go for the shopping then, because they are already tired or the time is finished. So they straight go home, and then they at least have something for making food or whatever they want to do.
So it's a well-thought-out plan.
And yes, so that is the kind of facilities will be there. Some shops and kiosks will be there, and the market kind of things will be there in the transport stage, and also there will be a restaurant in the transport stage. So people are eating, sitting over there, talking like that. If somebody is waiting for the bus or time to come, like that.
And then you have this grand plan to also introduce a hospital within
within the park we have public transport stage, we have police station, we have power substation, we have hospital, and we also have shopping mall within the park. So from the shopping mall, they get other services like banking facility, they get supermarket to purchase something, stationery, this, that. They get entertainment, they get food court. If some customers or supplier have come and they want to offer something, they can just walk into the shopping mall and they can entertain them like that.
What is your plan? Is these facilities that are going to be open within the industrial park, are they just going to be for the people working within the park or for the public?
No, like shopping mall is for the entire surrounding area,
Yes.
So because surrounding Infinity is a highly populated area, and there is no shopping mall like we have on Thika Road, TRM, and this side on Mombasa Road.
Yes.
In between there is no shopping mall. So this shopping mall will be required actually, because people want, instead of going that far, they will find it very near by them, and this is a highly populated area surrounding, so they also will benefit from it.
Yes.
Like when I planned to have Infinity Park here, and when Infinity Park started developing and government started providing us facility like sewer and water, so whole area benefited from the water supply and sewer connection.
Ecosystem, isn't it? Yeah.
Surrounding area also benefited from the sewer connection.
Yes.
It's not just for the Infinity.
Talk about a facelift for the community.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Plus the dual carriage road, access road, and all this road, all these public surrounding are benefiting from it.
Pretty much.
Yes. And this became an emerging area now.
Let's talk about a potential business that is watching you right now. And they're saying, well, that sounds interesting. I would just want to get into the Infinity Industrial Park right now and start working within that park. Do you have ready go-downs that a business can walk in and say, well, I either want to get this or rent into this? Could you talk to me about the working models that you have for businesses?
Yes, we have already constructed the first cluster of 10-acre warehouses. 46 unit warehouses we have constructed, and it was ready last year.
Yes.
And out of 46 unit, 38 unit has been already sold. Now we are remaining with only 8 unit at present. we are talking.
Yes.
And if you visit now, there more than 50% have already occupied it and they are operating over there. And if somebody want to start a business, then the warehouses are available on rent, and also you can purchase warehouse.
Purchase, yes.
Yes. So then you don't need to pay the rent if you purchase it.
Yes.
And our selling price is half the price than the market price.
But I want to talk to you about that as well, because that was
Yeah.
the big negotiation point. But then now listen, Ashok Shah is not paid me to talk about this, because then in the process of speaking about what pricing you're going to get, is telling you the market price probably for this particular unit is going to be this much, but for me, I'm going to offer it for you at half. Now, this is that time then for you to mention those prices. And for the very first time, I didn't want to ask you that question when you mentioned it. With the infrastructure that you put in place here, with the plan that the Infinity Park then is going to attract, why those prices?
Yes, it is, I tell you something. The market price right now for the warehouses, anywhere you go within the Nairobi, like you go to Babadogo Road or you go to Enterprise Road, people are selling warehouses at 6,500 Kenya shilling per square foot. Okay?
Yes.
And they give you 50% mezzanine in that warehouse with the mezzanine.
Yes.
And when you say, no, my requirement is without mezzanine, and I don't want to have mezzanine because my machinery is like this and whatnot, my requirement is without mezzanine, then they will tell you the price is 8,500 Kenya shilling per square foot, not 6,500 Kenya shilling per square foot. Okay? And our warehouse within the Infinity Industrial Park, the way I have designed it, it is without mezzanine floor, and we are offering it 4,500 Kenya shilling per square foot at present. Previously, when it was under construction, when we have sold it, we sold it at 4,000 Kenya shilling per square foot, which was less than half the price. How I can sell this half the price? The reason, because I thought I want to sell it at cost, because this is just a first cluster, and out of 200 acre, it is just 10 acre, which is 5%. So I will just think it is my marketing cost if I don't make any profit. You understand?
Yes.
But let people start and enjoy the facility first. Then they will become my marketing agents.
And so far they are enjoying it.
And they are enjoying it, and that is how now a lot of inquiries started coming in, and they are comfortably operating here at present. And I have already planned now the second cluster. And in second cluster, I am offering both the type of warehouses with the mezzanine and without mezzanine both.
Yes.
So when I offer with the mezzanine, I want to have a very special offer for first 20 warehouse only. And out of next 50 warehouse we are constructing in the second cluster. So first 20 warehouse, I want to sell it at 3,569, very special offer at just cost to cost. So let people take this opportunity, and they can also get advantage of the price appreciation.
You gotta say that, by the way, people gotta listen, because they're not gonna get that price anywhere in the country.
And again, they will be at the better place than anywhere else outside Infinity, because within the Infinity, you have a better security, better infrastructure, better amenities, better services, and better facilities.
Sometimes I want to end the show there, because then if indeed you're going to read for that name called Ashok Shah, and then after that you find the prices he's talking about, you should be rushing. In fact, call me right now and tell me why he's that man. I want to talk to him. Yeah. Anyway, so now, when do we expect then the second phase to be complete? And how many phases do you plan for in the Infinity?
Okay, for the warehouses, actually we have reserved only 35 acre of land.
Yes.
Out of 35, we have constructed 10 acre, and 25 acre is yet to be developed.
Yes.
And total warehouses we are developing is 175 warehouses total. Out of that, 46 has been already developed, and remaining we yet to develop. So the second cluster is with the 50 warehouses which we are developing, and we are starting it already. In fact, we have started preparing the ground, and our construction probably will start from next month, June 15th. Our construction will start, because we are just preparing the ground, and I'm also waiting for one approval from the NEMA.
Okay.
So once by the time we get ground is prepared and we get the approval, we just start the construction. So this will take 1 year. Next year June, when you come, you will see that the second cluster is ready. Complete, yes.
Fantastic.
And we also have a payment plan for 1 year. So as construction progress, that how customer will pay.
Pretty much. You can actually get to book right now, so that when it's done, you just move right
Yeah,
in the
they
shop.
just pay 10% on the booking,
Yes.
and then as construction progress, they keep paying us other installment every month.
Yes,
Right.
pretty much. All right. Now, there are a couple of things that you mentioned in your story, but then I'm going to look at this award that you have right here,
Yes.
talk about it for a minute or so before we end this particular one. There's a couple of things you mentioned in your story, and I'm going to say that right now. For any investor that is thinking, well, I'm also want to think about the wholesome project at Infinity Park, you say that your plan is to make sure that any employee who works within the park doesn't have to work with you, say that I actually work for Ashok Shah. No, that anybody who walks into that gate, they're going to have free lunch.
Yes, the people, the workers working with other industries that people are operating here,
Yes.
it is my intention that they should get at least one free meal. And for that I have made a system, because we are coming up with the several canteens within the park.
Yes.
And like one canteen is already ready now in this first cluster. We have already made as a model.
That's it.
And we already have right now almost 200 workers working within the Infinity Industrial Park right now.
Yes.
And my scheme is what, that I am giving at subsidized rate meal coupon to the operator,
That's it.
the entrepreneur. So entrepreneur buy 100 meal coupon from me at very subsidized price, half the price. And then at the lunch time, because it's cost very negligible, so at lunchtime they give the meal coupon to the workers that, okay, please go and have your meal. Okay? So for the worker, it becomes free. And whatever deficit comes, that I will inject into the project of feeding free meal. This is my plan. And how I will be generating this this money to feed, because this is a very vast project, and we will have a lot of income from future also. Like we also charge service charge.
Yes.
So one of the income will be service charge. Right now we are running it in a loss because we have not many customers paying service charge yet, and our expenses are more. But in future, when it is fully occupied, then at least we will save something from the service charge, and we also will have some other income from other services which we are providing within the park.
Yes.
We will be giving a lot of other services to the people operating here.
Yes.
Yes.
Does that speak to you as a man, Ashok, that indeed it's not just about the business, it's about the people? Is that what this plan speaks about?
Comes from within. I mean, like my idea was that when I see that poor people, how they will be managing their family,
Yes.
with like labor class people earning 15 to 20,000 a month, and out of this 15-20,000 shilling they spend something on transport, and whatever remaining, what they buy food for family, or how can they spend on education, how can they spend on medical requirement or whatever. So I just thought at least the person who's working here, he remain healthy and he at least get one free meal here.
It's true, isn't it?
So this is how it came from.
Nazar.
Yes.
I know you're running a lot of
And because we also do a lot of other charities,
Nazar.
and this is I mean, it's a walk of the life. Charity is a walk of the life. We always do it from beginning of I started career. We keep doing charity. Whatever profit comes, at least 10% we use for the charity.
Pretty much. Fantastic. Now, the last question that I want to ask just before we step out of this conversation, Mr. Shah, you say you're 60. I know you're saying I work with just a hinge that this is where things are going to go next. And in a couple of years now, Infinity Park is going to be complete, 100%.
Yes.
And probably I'm going to be one of those people going to be fortunate to walk in here, then see your picture, by the way. When do you want to retire? Your name goes way back.
Okay.
So officially now we're going to know exactly what
I have not made any plan for the retirement, but
Yeah.
I mean, when time comes, automatically I will retire. I don't know when. When
What?
maybe my body does not support me too much, then the time
that's
will come
something.
to
That's the
retire.
time that
Because otherwise we keep serving, I also have an aim future to serve the community better, that how can I do more social work.
Nazar.
And we serve to the community
Nazar.
like that.
Okay, then finally then, Mr. Shah, in just 15 seconds,
Yes.
do you think that local businesses and the small businesses within the country have a chance to compete globally because you're right within that ecosystem?
Yes, this is a bit complicated question, but I answer you according to my opinion.
Yes.
Kenya has a lot of potential
Yes.
to grow the business here and to start export.
Yes.
But it really need government support. Without that, it is not possible. And if government think in this direction, then definitely Kenya will be able to do a lot of export into the global market, and we will generate foreign revenue from it, and country will grow fast, very fast, because all other African countries who doesn't have this kind of infrastructure, and like Kenya today relying on 85% of import. Okay,
Yes.
so when we start like more industries come here and we start manufacturing ourselves, so that way we will also save the foreign currency by paying for the import, and instead we will start exporting to the neighboring country who are actually importing right now. The whole Africa is importing actually.
Pretty much.
So we have lot of potential.
Yes.
That at least even if we just export to the African countries,
Yes.
We can grow fast, definitely.
Oh, Zed, I mean, take it from a man who's been in business in as far as you can remember. Right, that is Ashok Shah gracing this particular episode of the Captain's Arena, taking back to the time that he joined us on this particular conversation online and Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. The hashtag is Captain's Arena. And by the way, just Google Infinity Park, then make a point of calling. That's it. Good night and goodbye.